Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning Tech Blitz training that we're doing here as a family, as a community. The purpose of this, if you're brand new, is to just get together as a team and help each other build this business. And the tip of the sword in this business is reaching out to people, like learning how to contact and invite. It's literally the tip of the sword. And if we don't get into a habit of doing this, I do a little bit every day, but on Saturday mornings, I'll take an hour or two and I'll reach out to 30 to 50 people and just piquing interest about this business. So the purpose of this training is so we can help you with what to say to these people. Because if it's a new business, you might not know what to say. You might send a text that's this long, vomiting all over them about this great business, and you should join now. We do it short and sweet, and the whole purpose of reaching out to somebody is to pique interest and to get an appointment, right? This is a face-to-face business or a phone or Zoom. We're not trying to sell them anything over a text except the idea of let's get together. So before we get into that, what I'm going to do, we get a very special guest, somebody who's mastering the social media aspect of relationship marketing. And believe me when I tell you, there's a right way to do this and a wrong way, and most people do it the wrong way. So you can do more harm than good on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn if you don't have the right methods. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of open up the mic to a very dear friend of mine that's really crushing this business, and especially the social media aspect. Lisa Kennedy. So, Lisa, take it away.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for the intro. I'm actually going to share my screen if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. What I want to start off by saying is that, I appreciate Brian calling me a master. What I've done is just something that I've heard him talk about just as I was getting on is I'm just listening to this stuff over and over and over again, because for me, being home with the kids and, ensuring that I'm not using that as an excuse at times, I have to make sure that I'm building my network and I'm reaching out and I'm putting in the effort 24/7, whether I have the kids or not. So for me, social media is really the way to do that. And so again, I'm just listening to it over and over again.
Hey, let me jump in for a second. Hey, Brad, you shared your screen. We got to get you to stop sharing your screen.
Unless if you want to do the presentation, Brad, you can.
There's a little button, little green thing down the bottom. If you scroll down, hit stop screen share.
Sorry.
It's okay. It happens a lot on Zooms.
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect.
Awesome. Right. And so I heard Brian talk about Eric Worre. Obviously, he's phenomenal. You guys have heard me say several times, Ray and Jessica Higdon. There's a ton of free training out there. Jessica Higdon is my favorite around social media. So a lot of what I'm sharing with you today is stuff that comes from them with, pieces of a few other people. But my point is there's a ton out there. So don't let lack of knowledge be what stops you from blowing this up on social media, because there's huge potential out there. So with that being said, I'll stop. I'll share my screen. Can you guys see that?
Yep, we got it. Looks good. Looks good.
So why social media? And I would have probably dazzled you more if I had time to do the animation. So these little stats flew in, but I didn't have time to do that. So next time. But according to estimates, 2017, there's 2.34 billion people on social media. And that's expected to grow to 2.95 billion by 2020. So when I hear someone say, I don't have anyone to talk to, it makes me cringe, because there's 2.34 billion people on social media. In 2017, 81% of the population in the US had some sort of a social networking profile. Now, again, this is LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, et cetera, but 2.34 billion people. And look at this one. On average, people spent in 2017, some of the numbers vary, but on average, people are spending over 4 hours a day on their phone. Unless you're working with us and you know better, right? What's the first thing that most people do? They get up in the morning and they check their phone. It's where people are. So the most important thing is your profile. And the reason why it's so important is because when you're out there networking, trying to connect with people, even working with people that you already have a connection with on Facebook, on LinkedIn, you know, that's what they're going to look at. They're going to look to see, who are you? What are you about? What do you stand for? So we've talked about this before, but your banner, you want it to be a clear photo that represents your lifestyle, not your company, not your business card, you know, you're not now, not right now. You want it to be something that really speaks to who you are. So for me, if you know, you look at my banner photo, it's a picture of me on the ocean with the kids, because that speaks to who I am and what I'm about. Your profile picture, if you ever had somebody send you a friend request on Facebook that had no photo, I delete. I don't even waste my time. I want to know who I'm going to be working with. So it should be a picture of you with a smile. Even if you're having a terrible day, it doesn't matter. Take a smile, take a picture with a smile and put that up as your profile picture. You want people to know who you are. Now, if you want to share your family, as I said, I have the kids in my cover photo, then you could put that in your cover photo. But for your profile, it should just be you, and it should be a real clear, well-lit picture of yourself. In your about section, you can put your website if you have a website. When we get our websites from our company, we can put that if we want to. We want to share a little bit about our story and let people know how we can help people. This is a step that I personally haven't taken yet because I'm still working on it. I've been working on it for a little bit. So right now I just have in my about section, you know, something to the effect of, I'm a wife, a mom, you know, and a lifelong friend to many, or something like that. And I have an image of a couple of palm trees. Palm trees are my thing. So, you know, eventually I'll put in a little bit more about what we do, who I'm looking to work with, how I can attract people. Because again, we want people to know who we are, what we're about. Photos, you know, all types of photos you can have when you're posting, family members, friends, you know, fun things that you're doing. If you're out on a yacht, post it, you know. But if you're inside and, you know, your kids are, you know, if you have kids and your kids are making a mess of the living room and everything's trash, don't be afraid to post that, because people want to see that you're real. They don't want to see just glamour all the time, because they can see through that. It's fake. Family, friends, fun, influencers. You know, you see Brian and Jenny do this. They put pictures of Bob Proctor. And now, Brian, I can say if I have a picture with Brian, I'm going to throw a picture of Brian up there because Brian's an influencer, you know, Jenny, so many others, team people, you know, funny photos, just mix it up, you know, get people interested in what you're doing. In regards to your posts, your post should be, the rule is 80-20, so 80% value, quotes, articles, blogs, things like that. We'll get into that a little bit more in a future slide, but about you and your life, not about the company, not about, you know, your product or your service. That should really only be 10 to 20% of the time. Because remember, I said when people come and look, they're going to look to see who you are. And if you've got a bunch of stuff about the company all over your plate, you've just most likely ruined your chances at having a conversation with that person. Because what are they going to do? They're going to go right out to Google. They're going to Google the company. They're going to form their own opinion. It doesn't work, you know. Now, with that being said, you may be having a promotion and you might be able to throw something out there that's vague, that has to do with an upcoming meeting. You know, I know Russ and I will post something for our launch that's happening in April. You know, he'll do something fancy. If you've ever seen him post before, he'll do a video. He never mentions the name of the company, ever. But he'll say, if you're looking for something fun, or if you don't have anything to do, or if you're looking for another way, or he'll go all around that without saying the name of the company to let people know that there's an event coming and invite them, but never the name of the company. Raise curiosity, you know, why should they look? Again, get them intrigued. And then your contact info section, again, your website. Your email address is a must. You want people to be able to reach out to you. And then your phone number is optional. I have my phone number on there. I don't always answer my phone a lot of the times. I let people leave messages because there's so many telemarketers out there, although I have tried to reverse it on them a few times to see if they like what they're doing. That's always fun. But your email definitely at least is a must for your contact info section. So that's pretty much the overview on the profile. Again, one of the most important things that you can start off by doing is making sure that you have your profile set up correctly. So if you have any questions or you need any help, I'm happy to help you. Next thing you want to think about is, who do you want to attract? Who is your target audience? You know, now if you're out in a restaurant and, you know, your waitress has a fantastic personality, get her info, you know, set up a time, show her the business. I'm not saying to prejudge. I'm just saying, think about, who do you want to work with? Because that's the beauty of doing a business like this, is you can decide what type of people you want to bring into your business. It also helps to narrow in on where you're going to be looking to connect with additional people, because with there being so many people on Facebook and LinkedIn, sometimes it can be overwhelming as far as, where do I start? So if you think about it, you know, maybe I'm a mason and I'm looking for other business owners or a contractor, or I want to work with other entrepreneurs that aren't necessarily in network marketing because they know what it takes, you know, they know what hustle is and they know what it takes to be in your own business. Or maybe I'm a stay-at-home mom and I want to look for other stay-at-home mom and dad. Maybe I like to read. I want to work with authors, or I'm into, you know, fitness and wellness and I want health conscious people. Maybe I'm a teacher and I'm looking for other teachers, or, you know, hairstylists. You get the gist. Who's your target audience? Who do you see yourself working the best with? And then you want to think about, what are they doing? Where would they be? Where would they be hanging out? Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor Page, Robert Kiyosaki, you know, Ray and Jessica Higdon. Now, chances are you're going to run into a lot of network marketers out there in those groups, but that's okay for a variety of reasons, and we'll go into that at another time. But you just want to be thinking, where are they hanging out that I want to be surrounded by? And then who's your mentor? You know, where would they be? So I often think about Brian and Jenny and where they are and what they're doing. Where would they be? What would they be listening to? Where would they be hanging out? You know, where are they going? Because chances are there's going to be other people like them at those places or on those pages, and those are people that I want to connect with. So what do you post and how often? Excuse me. When people think of you, what do they think of? You know, the first person that comes to mind for me is Jen. Jen Tata. I automatically think of Jen's smile. Like, Kenny's a close second, right, with his smile. I don't know who has a cuter smile. They're both adorable. But I think of that. I think of their smile. I think of fun. I think of outgoing. You know, there's words that come to mind. So you want to ask yourself, and if you need help, ask somebody else this question. You know, when you look at me, or when you talk to me, or when you see my post, what do you think of? And then you have to ask yourself, is that what you want people to think about you? And if the answer is yes, then great. But if the answer is no, then you got to tweak what you're putting out there a little bit. Does that I hope that makes sense. And then you have to think about, you know, that audience, what do they want to see? Because it's not about you. It's not about what you feel like posting. It's about those people that you're looking to attract and what you think they want to see. Because at the end of the day, we want to intrigue them, raise curiosity, connect with them, etc. It's about them. It's never about us. I'm a big fan of being positive. I don't think that social media is the place to be negative. There's enough of that in the world. And I also don't want to attract that into my life. So I'm not one to go out there and, you know, bitch about politics or, you know, what's wrong with the world, because if you want to do that, you can turn on the news. You know, that's not my deal. It's not Russ's deal either. But with that being said, you do want to be real. You know, and I have to get better at this, honestly, because I'm always worried about, you know, do I have enough makeup on? Is my hair okay? And honestly, people want to see the raw you. They want to see that sometimes you show up with your hair in a bun, if you're a girl. Sorry, Kenny. Or, you know, you don't always have makeup on, or things are not always perfect, because life is not perfect. And when we lower those expectations of ourselves, and of what people expect, of what we think people are expecting from us, I think it's a lot easier on us and it's a lot easier on them, you know. It's okay. I mean, I wouldn't get, you know, all up personal, you know, with real personal stuff, but it's okay to tell people what you're struggling with. You know, when I post about Chase and autism, I'm not doing that for attention. I'm doing that to let people know that, you know what, sometimes this road, this journey is hard. Sometimes it sucks, but most of the time it's awesome. And I know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. You know, I post about that because it's real for me, because I want to connect with other people who are going through a similar struggle, because I want to help them. You know, that's why I post. So think about that. What are your struggles, insecurities? You know, what's messy about your life? The other day I posted the fact that I finally found my bed because I cleaned my room. You know, I haven't slept in my bed, honestly, in a month. But, you know, 6 months ago, I wouldn't have told you that, especially on Facebook. But now, you know, it's who I am, because I've chosen to put my business first, my income producing activities first. So that means I don't always get to put the laundry away. And that's okay. And it's important to let other people know that it's okay. So I said, I even hung up my curtains wrinkled. And I really did. I have wrinkled curtains in my bedroom, and you know what? It feels damn good. And I got people commenting on that don't normally comment. So that's the other point to this. You know, it's great. We have such a tight-knit community here with, you know, with all the business ventures that we're in. It's great that we show each other love and we like each other's stuff and we comment, but we're already in the business together. So we want to be thinking about ways to attract other people to get them to engage in our posts, because ultimately we want other people to come into our businesses, right? So the best way to do that is to just offer variety and be real. Photos, articles, blogs. You know, Jen has a blog. Share her blog once in a while. Jenny puts out some fantastic stuff in her email. I was thinking about this earlier, Brian. I thought, let's share some of that on social media. I mean, there's so many things right here in our own little circuit that we can be sharing from one another. You never run out of ideas.
Yep. Muted, Lisa.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
We'll get you back.
Okay. So politics and religion, maybe not. It depends. You know, if you're a Democrat and you go out there and you post Democratic stuff, for lack of a better term, because I'm not into politics, you've just probably ixnayed your Republican population. So if you feel strongly about politics and religion and that's where you want to go, by all means do it. I don't, because I don't want to. I don't want to go there, to be honest with you. So I don't, but you may want to. But just know that if you do, you're potentially going to be limiting some portion of your audience. With that being said, you know, you're not for everyone and everyone's not for you. So, you know, do what feels right for you. Be consistent. 1 to 3 times a day, believe it or not. Morning, afternoon, and night is best. I mean, you can look at stats and go online and see, when's the most popular time to post on Facebook on a Tuesday afternoon? And, you know, you may want to do that at some point, but honestly, right now, I'm just being consistent. 1 to 3 times a day. Ideally, it's at least 2 times a day. And then be always yourself. Believe in yourself and be you, always. So where do I find new people? First, I want to say, don't forget about the people that you already have, the friends that you already have on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And I keep mentioning Facebook and LinkedIn because that's really, I mean, you can apply this to a lot of social media, but this is mainly where I am right now, is Facebook and LinkedIn. So that's why I bring those 2 up. Don't forget about the connections that you already have and the people that are already there. It's great to add new people, but you want to use the network that you have as well. So groups and pages, there's a gazillion groups out there. And when you think about groups, you know, what do you like to do? I've mentioned this before. I'm in a couple of Weight Watchers groups. I do Weight Watchers. That's one of my things. And for me, it's really easy to connect and talk to people out there because I can relate, you know. So I'll make a recipe and I'll figure out the points and I'll throw it up there and, you know, hey, look at this. And people like it and they comment it. They comment on it. And guess what I'm doing with those people that comment and like? I'm engaging right back with them. You know, so find groups that you can resonate with, that you're interested in, and join those groups. You know, when you I know we're going to run out of time, so I'll speed it up a little bit. But when you look at group, you can check out group activity and see how active the group is. I wouldn't recommend joining a group that, had 0 new posts today, because that's not really an audience that's engaging. You want to find groups that are very active. I just joined an autism group on Facebook that had, it was over 1,000 new posts in one day. That's where I want to be, because those are the people that are on social media, and that's where I'm going to be able to engage. I recommend reaching out to the admin when you join a group, letting them know that you've joined, introduced yourself, thank them for starting the group, and start a conversation with them and ask them what inspired them to start the group. Because if you end up posting something down the line that's a no-no, if you've already built some rapport with them, chances are they'll reach out to you and they'll not just, kick you out of the group. Interact, comment on people's posts, and then, send friend requests and follow up with those people, follow them, message them. But it's all about building rapport. So you don't want to just join groups and then not do anything. It's pointless. And you don't need to join a ton of groups, because if you look at some of these groups, there's literally thousands and thousands of people in them. So biggest tip here is, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So talk less and listen more. Identify people's pain points. Watch what they post about. Look for those areas, look for those problems that, we can help with. And then, that's when you go in, that's when you go in with the pitch or the message, etc. Hopefully that makes sense. So once you've joined the groups and you've built rapport, commented on their posts, etc., built some rapport in the group, and you start reaching out to people, what do you say? You always want to use their name, use some sort of a catchy first sentence. With people in the past that were looking for work from home, I've said, geez, I'm sure you're being bombarded in capital letters with messages, links, etc. Just something different, because I guarantee you, majority of people are just spamming them. They're just sending them the link, or even worse, they're just posting their darn links, right in the comments. Watch this, and before you know it, there's 500 plus network marketers putting their link on a post, and where does this poor person even start? So what do you think it's going to look like to that person on the other end when you take a few minutes to reach out to them and build some rapport personally via Messenger and start finding out about them and, letting them know why you're reaching out? Hey, I saw your message in a mutual group. I see that you're trying to get a job working from home. I'm sure you're being bombarded with lots of messages from everyone, links, etc. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Have you ever worked from home before? Or, oh, I see you have 2 kids from your profile. How old are they? Or, there's a million ways to start and build that rapport. And here's some more questions. I mean, there's a ton of questions out there. There's a ton of free content that's been posted already in the VIV Success Network around questions specifically, but form, family, occupation, recreation, and motivation. What do you do? Are you still working at, or are you still with, are you still in real estate? Or, geez, you've been a recruiter for a long time. You must really enjoy it. What did you do before? How long have you been in this area? Geez, I'm looking to build or expand my business in the real estate market. Do you know anyone in real estate? Or, have you ever thought about doing something else? Or, how many kids do you have? Or how long have you lived in Florida? I mean, there's a million ways to build rapport with people without going right in with your pitch or your, hey, I have an opportunity, or I have a business idea. They say at least 3 rapport building questions first before you ask somebody to take a look at your presentation. And that's kind of the rule of thumb that I've been following. So once you've built rapport and you've messaged and you've gone back and forth a few times, you can say something like, I'm a big fan of feel, felt, found. People are complaining about time, not being able, to be with the kids, or because you'll be surprised when you make it about them and you ask questions, you'll be surprised at how people open up. People love to talk about themselves and about what's going on in their life. So, that just goes back to listening and looking for those pain points and the things that, finding those things that we can help them with. And I felt the same way. And what I found is that there's a better way. There's a million things you can do with feel, felt, found. But based on what you shared with me, I have something, I'd like to show you. It may or may not be a fit for you. It may not be for you, but if you're open, I'll send you some info. If not, no biggie. And I know not everyone's going to agree with this language, and I don't always use this, but on social media, bye. Tell her I said good luck. Sorry, Ashley has a basketball game. I found on social media, it gives people an out without burning a bridge. So, especially with the colder market, it allows me to still be able to contact them and get a response from them if I do it this route and I'm not being too pushy. So, if you're not, no biggie, and Ray Higdon talks about this because who doesn't want to be open? Everybody wants to be open. Of course they're going to be open, So if you're open, great. I'll send you some info. If not, no biggie, and then this from here, it's not rocket science. It goes right to Eric Worre's 7 steps, recruiting and network marketing. You've got something you're not just going to send it to them. You want to know how soon, not when, but how soon. When you say how soon can you watch it, it changes, it makes it sound like it's important. How soon do you think you can watch this? Set an appointment time. Ideally, you're getting people's cell phone number. Some people already have it in their profile, especially on LinkedIn. Some people have it on Facebook in their profile, but, you can say, what's your cell number? I'll text you the info. Or, here's my phone number. What's yours so that I know, who's calling if you have any questions. Either way. And, don't get too hung up on whether or not you get their phone number or, it's just the activity. You just want to keep doing this over and over and over again. And then it's follow up. So you set the appointment time. They say they're watching it at 7:00 tonight. You guys, hopefully you know the script. And if not, hopefully you're listening or reading it now because it's vital to our success in this industry. Eric Worre, GoPro, 7 steps, great. So if you watch it tonight at 7, I'll call you tomorrow morning at 8. You'll have had a chance to watch it. Yes. You call tomorrow or you follow up tomorrow and so when you're following up, what did you like best? What was your favorite part? How do you see yourself building it? And here, whatever they say, unless it's negative, agree. How do you see yourself building it? I'd love to build it on social media. Oh, that's great. That's what I'm doing. That's what we do. Or I'd love to show this to, I can see myself talking to people I know in BNI. That's fantastic. That's what my husband does. There's so many things so many ways you can make it positive. So unless it's absolutely negative, agree with what they're saying so that they can relate and you can relate to them. Sounds to me like you're ready to get started. That sounds bold to people, but sometimes it works. Sounds to me like you're ready to get started. And then just wait, stop talking, say less. Let them speak. Chances are they're not going to be ready to get started, just so you know. Chances are they're going to need that additional exposure, and that's okay. We have a million tools. We get them on a 3-way. We get them to a webinar. We bring them to a meeting. There's so many exposures that we have, but what you've just done on these last 2 slides is you've done what a lot of times we forget to do, and that's ask the question. Sometimes we can get, we're like on one extreme or the other. Either we're not building any rapport at all and we just go right in for the kill and people are like, yeah, whatever. Or we spend a year building rapport and we don't ask the question. You're not going to get eyes on your presentation. You're not going to get people to see what we're doing if you don't ask. Hopefully that makes sense. Most importantly, remember social media is a place to grow your network. And when done properly, it is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful tools that we have. If you listen to John and Nadia Melton, they have literally taken their business from, hotel home meetings to about 80% social media. They went from making 6 figures a year to now making 6 figures a month. What they do duplicates. Their team uses social media. They set it up in such a way that it's easy for folks to use. It's easy to work with people all over the country. Brian does that. He has people all over the states. I connected the other day with someone from Kenya. I couldn't do that if it wasn't for social media. Be social, engage. Stop just liking people's posts. Start commenting on people's posts, and not just in our little circle here. And I love our circle, but expand our circle. Expand your circle. Take the time to comment on other people's things, because when you comment, you stick out. Most people only like. And I hate to tell you, but likes don't matter. You can have 5,000 friends, but only 100 of them be engaging with you. That's not going to help you. I'd rather have 1,200 friends where half my audience engages with me. And that's only going to happen by you engaging with them, you making it about them, you posting a variety of things, and you being real. You know, don't be one of those network marketers. You know, don't be like those people that I see in the groups that just, man, they're killing our industry. You know, they're just links all over the place. Join me, no money down, do this. You don't have to work. You can sit on the couch and money's just going to come to you. You know, it's false, and it's what's hurting us. Don't be like that. Don't spam people. Build relationships. You know, and social media, it's not about shortcuts. It doesn't mean that because I'm spending majority of my time on social media, I'm not following the process, because I am. And when I don't, it doesn't work. You know, we're so lucky because the process has been followed. The process has been figured out for us. All we have to do is follow it. But because it's so darn simple, you know, we complicate it sometimes. And if we can just, you know, remove ourselves from our own way and just follow the steps and do it consistently, man, you know, you can build a huge following and a huge team from Facebook. You know, be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. Jessica Higdon gave herself 12 months. She actually had a calendar of how many people she'd have to reach out to in a day. And that's another thing. You're reaching out to a lot more people, especially if it's cold market, because they don't know you. So I have, you know, again, I'm on my second week. I've touched 100 people already this week. It's not enough though, because a lot of it's cold market. So I got to up those numbers, but I'm being consistent, and I know that that's key. And most importantly, guys, have fun. So I hope that helped. There's a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of other training material that I have. Happy to do, you know, another training at a future time about objections or Instagram or, you know, any of those other things. But hopefully this was enough to get you guys going.
Great job, Lisa. Just wow, I'm taking notes over here myself. Absolutely blown away with the level of progress and professionalism that you've obtained since you decided to turn the switch and be a professional. I remember when that happened. So great training. This is recorded too, guys. And Lisa, another thing we could do, we could do an expanded version of this offline and just record it and put it up on the website.
Sure.
So guys, this is recorded. It's going to be on the VIV Success Network YouTube channel. And what I want to touch on before we blitz a little bit here, just real quick, is leadership. Right? We all have this business that we're trying to build on a high level. Right? Here, everybody's saying, I want to be, you know, a pace setter, a partner, silver partner, you know, 5 figures a month, 6 figures a month. And then I see what actions people are taking. Right? And I could tell, you know, who's on the webinar and who's not. If we all have this business and it's a part-time business, this is, you know, to me, this is probably the most impactful thing you guys can do. Show up on Saturday mornings and get your team on this training, because we're going to blitz and they're going to get information like this, these trainings. And just ask yourselves, you know, how many of you would have liked to have 20, 30, 40 people in your team on this training listening to Lisa? What would that do for your business? Like, this Saturday morning is so we can do all the heavy lifting. You don't have to go out and spend the last year or two like Lisa did gathering all this information. You can get a shortcut right here and get your team to have that same shortcut. And with that being said too, social media is the secondary thing, right? So if you have people in your team that say, I don't have a warm market, I don't really know anybody, this is where they want to go. But the very first thing, and what we're going to focus on here is, you know, we have unlimited resources right in our phone, our Facebook, LinkedIn, what we're talking about here. So great training, Lisa. But again, when it comes to leadership, it starts with self-leadership. You know, getting yourselves on these trainings and getting yourselves on Tuesday nights, you know, every single one, right? That's you know, if we're doing a 5-hour-a-week business model, an hour on Saturday, an hour on Tuesday, you know, 3, 4, 5 hours recruiting and signing people. That's 5 to 7 hours a week at a minimum, you know. And what I would say is the business plan to guarantee your success. This business is not going to fail. You know, a lot of us in this business are going to go right to the top. It's not the business model or the plan. It's understanding the plan and understanding what we're a part of here, right? So I think some of the keys to success is is show up, right? Show up on this training, show up on Tuesday nights yourself, because your team won't do what you won't do. It's not enough to just say, hey, here's the training, and then we don't show up. We have to lead by example. And then promote this, right? Promote this to your team, and don't tell them to show up. Let them know why you're showing up. The big difference between telling somebody what to do and inspiring them by saying, this is why I'm showing up. And at the end of the day, we can't make our team show up for these. But I would say that people that don't show up, those are probably not people you're going to want to spend too much time working with, because they're not committed to their own business. So it's going to highlight who you want to work with and who you don't. Everybody on here, right, I'll spend one-on-one time with, doing 3-ways, helping you guys build your business. 3-way calls, I should say. But think about, this is going to highlight who you should work with in your team, because I don't have time, unfortunately, to spend with somebody that's just sort of half interested, or they'll show up here and there, or you know what I mean? So this is going to really be strong feedback for you guys, who you should be spending time with in your team. And again, commit to listening, right? If you do these 2 things, listen to Eric Worre's GoPro, the Audible, and listen to the book Think and Grow Rich, and read them as well for the next year. Just alternate. Eric Worre's GoPro, Think and Grow Rich, back and forth, while you're driving around, right, in your home office. Do that for the next year and watch what happens. But more importantly, have that duplicate in your team. You'll see that your job is done. They will become self-motivated, self-leaders, right? And then disconnect from the results. I can't say this one enough. The biggest reason why people fail in any business, not just network marketing, any business, is because they get emotionally involved in the results. I reached out to 50 people, 2 people got back to me. That's not a failure, that's feedback. That's just, all that is information telling you you need to change something. You need to learn a little bit of something. You need to get on with one of us on a call. Let us help you massage what you're saying to people. It's just feedback. If you're reaching out to 10 people and getting 10 people for appointments, well, that's feedback that you now have the skills and you're on point. Or if you're getting 7 out of 10, or even 5 out of 10, right? But if you're getting a 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20, that's not a bad thing. It's feedback. It's telling you something. So don't get discouraged. Don't get connected, especially in your first year. Don't get emotionally involved in that nonsense. This is a business. You're going to have to learn skills. Obviously, you're not going to come out being a Lisa Kennedy or a Ray Higdon. I mean, she's spent the last 3 years studying this stuff. So don't get discouraged if you're sending things out and people aren't responding. Just understand that you need to learn your craft. That's all. Time's the only variable here, guys. If you guys do these things that we're saying, if you show up for the tech splits, if you continuously reach out to people every week, you continue to study, and you continue to show up for everything, time is the only variable to success. And I mean a 6-figure, 7-figure success. And if you look at the world's greatest network marketers, almost every single one of them has a horrible, 2 to 3 year story, right? It's a struggle, right? Learning this, or they got into a company and the company folded, right? Jordan Adler went through 12 companies trying to find what he wanted, but then some of them folded. Now, this is back in the 80s when companies were folding left and right. I personally think that we are at the ground floor of something that's going to be, monumental here. So that's my 2 cents on leadership. First of all, lead yourself, because nobody follows somebody that they're not doing everything they're asking. And then you can learn to lead your team through inspiration, doing the things, right? Who's not going to follow Lisa when she's leading these trainings, right? I'm gonna blitz this. I'm going to post this everywhere. Just people seeing her lead and stumbling on these videos is going to cause more people to want to work under her team. That makes sense? So we're going to help do that. So let's get into the text blitzing portion of this. That's my little rant. What we're doing here, guys, you should have all gotten an email that I sent out with a lot of template text scripts. You guys all get that? It's a good starting point, right? Now, from there, we're going to massage it. So what I want you guys to do, if you're brand new to the business, when we do a text blitz, you literally take your phone out, get a pad of paper, and we're going to start texting. Now, we got only about 15 more minutes. So I'm going to, what I want you to do is commit to texting 50 people, right? This is your business. Figure out if you want it to grow or not. This is how we get it to grow. Take an hour on a Saturday, reach out to 50 people, piquing interest, right? And all you're going to do is open up your phone, start with the letter A. Don't pass by anybody. This is a subconscious thing. It's a paradigm that we do. It's like, it wouldn't be for them, or it wouldn't be for them, or oh my God, I haven't talked to them in 20 years. Don't do that. That's in your own head. That's the paradigm, right? We talk about the ABC list, and for those of you who know the tech splits, start tech splits. And I'm really speaking to the people that are brand new. You guys want to be blitzing now. So everybody in your phone is going to fall into an A or a B or a C. People in the A group, these are people that look up to you. These are your homeboys, your homegirls. These are your partners in crime. People you can pretty much tell. Say, listen, I have a business idea. Let's get together for a coffee. Let's meet for a beer, right? You can tell them we're going to meet, and they'll meet. These are people that look up to you normally, for whatever reason. So everybody has a small group of these A-list people that look up to you. Your peer group is your B-list. That's going to be the bulk of the people. These are people that you want to pique interest, and really ask, would it be okay if? So I might say, hey, Matt, what's up, man? I know I haven't talked in a few years. I see that you just moved back up from North Carolina. Listen, I have a business idea I want to run by you. Can we grab a coffee? Would it be okay? Would it be okay if we grabbed a coffee one night this week or over the weekend? I'd love to see what you've been up to. Would be great to catch up. Right? Nothing about the business. I use business idea. I don't use the word opportunity. But that's a perfect example because Matt just moved back up from North Carolina, and we could probably see that on Facebook, or for some reason, if I was talking to Matt Payne and I hadn't seen him in 10 years, I would say, hey Matt, what's up, man? I see that your tile business is booming, and I know we haven't chatted in a while, but I thought of you because I see you're in business. I have a business idea I want to run by you. Would it be okay if we grabbed a coffee? I'd love to see what you've been up to. That would be the text, right? So it doesn't matter how long it's been, there's always a way to break the ice, right? And then we have that C list, which I call the chicken list, right? Everybody calls it the chicken list. It's this is people that you look up to, people that you're thinking that they're already really independently wealthy, or for whatever reason you look up to them. And these are the ones that you're probably going to gloss by because it's like, right in your own paradigm, you're like, this probably wouldn't be for them. And the way to do that is to pique their interest. Hey Kenny, what's up? Listen, I really value your business advice. I have a new business I want to run by you to get your opinion on it. It's probably not something for you, but since you're running, XYZ company, I'd really appreciate your time and your opinion on what I'm doing here. Would it be okay if I drop by one day this week or over the weekend? Or would it be okay if we got on a phone call over the next 7 days, one night this week or over the weekend, or one day for lunch or over the weekend? Use their time, but you're really looking for their opinion. And I mean it honestly, it's probably not going to be for them. But when you get with them, you want to show them what we're doing, because what I say to them is, listen, this is probably not for you, but you probably know some property managers, some realtors, some insurance agents, some construction managers. You start to highlight the people that are in their list. And I want to show you what I'm doing because I want you to feel comfortable connecting some dots for me. Now, what happens psychologically and subconscious is that they say, well, I know all those people. Why am I going to give this list to you? And I've had that happen. I've had people that are multimillionaires already using that approach. And I was being honest, I'm basically saying, let me use your network. And this is why, and this is what we're doing. And I've had them come into my business because, why would they do that? But you're being honest. You're looking for these people to give their opinion of the business. And listen, if they have an opinion that's negative, then just say, isn't that interesting, and move on. Don't let that sink in, because the people that I run with in these circles are seven-figure earners in this business yearly, and some of them are seven-figure monthly earners in this industry. So don't let somebody else's paradigm about what they think business is confuse what the U economy is doing, because there's a bigger percentage of people making money this way than there are starting traditional businesses. So hopefully that helps. What I want to do now is open up, if you guys are stuck, right, open up your phone, start at A. If you're trying to text somebody and you don't know what to say, I want you to unmute yourself and describe a little bit about this person. This helps the team too. And we're going to help you massage that. So I'm going to start text blitzing now too. Anybody has any questions, just unmute yourself and we'll try to help you answer those questions. Let's see. I'm going to check the chat here too. All right, Maria, I can get you that. Why don't you type, maybe I don't have your email. Why don't you type your email in the chat box and I'll send it to you. Oh, Kenny was all over it too. All right, I'm going to send you that right now.
Laura, I emailed it to you just in case. I'm not sure if you got it.
Mike, I'll send that to you as well, bud. Anybody have anybody that's stuck on? Another thing too, when you guys start to get people sending texts back to you, feel free to let me know what they said because we can help you on the stage. Some people are going to say, "What's this all about?" And we don't want to start describing our company. That's a big no-no. You're not trying to sell them on a text. You're trying to get an appointment to either get on the phone, get with them in person, or get on a Zoom with one of us. So if somebody says, "Yeah, sure, it sounds good. What's it all about?" Say, "You know what? I don't want to text you bits and pieces. It's too much to explain over a text. Plus, I'd really love to catch up and see what you've been up to." Make it more about catching up, seeing what they've been up to, and meeting with them.
Hey, Brad, what if it's a cold contact that asks?
Same thing.
Same thing?
Yeah, same. But they might not want to meet for a coffee. So I would really try and push the Zoom meeting or something, because it's too much. It's too much to explain over bits and pieces of a text. It's more of a visual thing.
Okay.
And take a page out of Kenny Cludie's book. Don't be afraid to take this away from people. If they say, "Well, just send me something," they're not probably open-minded or they're not looking. It's them telling you they're not really looking for something.
Right.
Don't be afraid to pull it away. Say, "You know what? It's not going to make sense if I text it to you. If it's not for you, that's fine. Don't be afraid to pull it away politely."
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, what you're dealing with is somebody that's probably not open-minded or not going to do much in the business.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Ryan, do you recommend using the webinars? So on the cold market for LinkedIn, people are like, "Sure, send me some more info." Do you recommend sending the webinar video out for people to view?
No, I mean, again, that's like Lisa said, people get that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to just text them the link. We want to at least get on a phone call and watch it with them. Remember how we used to do that?
Yeah.
Bare minimum, say, I'd like to be on the phone with you. You're going to have a lot of questions. It's not going to make sense without us connecting.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to share one of the scripts that works really well. I actually reached out to Kenny Haywood this week on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty funny. I didn't realize it was him because of his name, but I caught his attention. Oh, it was hilarious.
That was great.
Yeah.
When are you meeting him?
So reaching out to people this week in cold market, I'm using one of the scripts that Lisa had shared with us before, and it is, "Would you be open to a side project that didn't interfere with what you are currently doing?" And I even had someone in cold market that's actually in Roden Fields write back to me, and she's like, "Oh, this is a great script. Can I use this?" So even people out there that don't want anything to do with our business, they still that script is working to catch people's attention.
Here's the thing, guys. If you run into other network marketers, we have a solution, and I don't want you to forget about this because we're launching soon. If you, because they're not probably going to leave their business. They're not. If they're a professional, they're not going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't. None of us would. So don't forget to, oh, I didn't realize you were a network marketer. Say, listen, I have an amazing business building tool called Network Ninjas. I'm being serious. We have something now that literally, even somebody that's a network marketing professional, we can still be in business with them.
Yep.
Shift tax and say it's amazing. Compliment the industry. Isn't it amazing? Listen, I found something that's helping me blow up my business. It's an amazing tool called Network Ninjas, geared towards the network marketing industry. And you can feel free to send them that link, because it's not network marketing. It's affiliate marketing, and it's a tool. So they'll go on, they'll check it out. Send them your registration link, and keep that dialogue going. So I'm telling you, that piece of the puzzle is really going to be it's going to connect a lot of dots, and it's another revenue stream. So,
Brian, I've even gone as so far as to say, like to another network marketer, like build a rapport. How long have you been doing this? Obviously, we talk about companies that we're in, and I'll pull out that whole follow-up thing, and I'll put it on myself. I'll say, I was having such a hard time with follow-up. And I'm psyched because a business mentor of mine, they're creating this software that they're going to be launching. It's a CRM tool. Mm-hmm. And I kind of I put it on me, I suck at follow-up. But thank God there's this awesome technology that's coming called Network Ninjas. And people really, because you know what? Chances are they suck at follow-up too.
Oh, yeah, more than likely.
So, that's a way too.
I like it. All right, guys, these texts should be short and sweet. Remember, we're not writing books here. The shorter the better. Just, piquing interest. Let's grab a coffee. Let's grab a beer. Let's get on a phone call, or let's get on a Zoom.
Hey, Brian. Sorry for the late join of the meeting. I've been doing the text blitzing, but I'm at a customer's house since 5 o'clock this morning, and they have no Wi-Fi, no service in the middle of the woods. So I drove up the street.
Good for you. There's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah, I'm like, there's no service here, but I'm texting people, and I was like, I couldn't even hear or get on, and so I drove up the street so that I could actually have service. So just want to let you know, I've been on with you guys texting.
Yep, I saw you jump on, brother. And this is recorded too, guys. We're gonna get this out to you, but I don't want to develop a community of us, having people watch replays. I want to try to get our team. Most people can shift their things around to get on a Saturday morning, especially right now. I mean, once spring comes and kids start taking over our lives with soccer and this and that and the other thing, maybe we can, do some trainings also before the webinar on Tuesday and kind of double dip. But this is recorded, so you'll be able to watch it yourself and also share it with your team. I'm sending out for you guys that didn't have the scripts. By the way, those scripts are going to be template texting scripts right in Network Ninjas. That's where that came from. I wrote those from my development team to implement them. And what they are is they're starter scripts, right? I don't want you to just cut and paste that blindly. I want you to read the headline of what it is, ABC list. Start with that, but then massage it. Add a little humanity. Add a little, geez, it'd be great to see you. How's your kids? Add a little bit of customization to that person. And the thing that happens, guys, too, once you have your own little database of template scripts, I advise you to get, use a notepad, electronic notepad, copy these things. You're going to figure out what's working for you too. When you get a lot of response, we call it converting. When you get a text that's really converting, you can copy that and keep it in a database for yourself so you can get faster at text blitzing. Now, if you're brand new, you're going to, hopefully you're going to take my advice and text blitz at least 50 people today. What'll happen during the week is you'll be getting back to these people, right? And then next Saturday when we're building, next Saturday we're going to a lot longer of a text blitz, by the way. next Saturday, the first half of your blitzing might be following up, escalating, right? And if the people that didn't answer it say, hey, just making sure you saw my text, hope everything's well, and send it again. Don't be afraid to do that, because a lot of times, this happened to me, Sam Diaz, I apologize, but I actually read your text last week about something you had sent me. I started typing back to you, and then I got distracted with some other texts, and I never hit send. So you probably see that I responded to you from like 4 or 5 days ago, something you wrote. That happens a lot. When I pick up my phone after this, I'll have 15 or 20 people that have texted me, and I'll start going through it. I might actually forget to respond. That happens to people. So don't take it personally if you send a text and you don't get a response. More than likely, that's what it is. So we'll start next week, with follow-up and going through that. All right, guys, we're getting up to the 1 hour mark here, so I want to clip the training off. Does anybody have any questions? Ideally, like I said, you want to keep texting until like 10 o'clock, just booking appointments. And before I go to, I want to mention one thing. What we're really trying to do here is text to get the amount of appointments that you want. So you got to figure out, if you want 5 appointments next week, then you want to text until you have the 5 appointments. It doesn't need to be a half hour or an hour or 2 hours. It's however long it takes. It might take you 4 hours. You want to text however long it takes to get the amount of appointments that you desire in your business every single week. It might only be 15 minutes, right? When we get highly effective at this, I only have to text blitz for like 15 minutes to get more than enough appointments, because I've been doing it for 4 years. I'm getting very proficient at it. So I don't want you to think about a certain amount of time. I want you to think about a certain amount of appointments, because that's the only thing you can control. And then if you're brand new, get us involved, right? When you get an appointment with somebody, get one of us involved on a 3-way call or a 3-way Zoom. Let us help you show this business to people. That'll help you learn really quick. All right, guys, so hopefully that makes sense. Anybody have any questions? Hey, Sam, Network Ninjas has not launched yet, but it's within a week or two. It's really close. And believe me, you'll know it. We're going to have a big kickoff. We'll have a training. But for now, you guys that are all registered for Network Ninjas, every single person in your team in VIV, make sure they're registered underneath you. Start to build that. You guys all have your own identity links, your own affiliate links. And if you don't have that, ping me or Kenny or Matt. You get an email with your own affiliate link. So make sure you're promoting this and building it down, because as soon as we go live, it's a whole nother revenue stream, and it's going to help you and your team crush VIV too. So I'm just really excited for that to launch. I think it's going to help people in such a deep way. I'm really, really excited. So anybody else got any questions?
Okay. When's the Network Ninjas going to be part of the bundle for VIV?
I'm working on it. We're in negotiations as we speak. So guys, just so you know, now either way, we're going to be a tool for VIV. Whether they decide to accept us as a VIV product or not, we have permission, or they're going to bless off on having us as a VIV approved tool to use.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
So either way, it's going to be part of the community. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. I want to thank Lisa Kennedy for that half hour, 45 minutes of brilliance. Well done, Lisa. I can't say enough about how much you've grown. And we're going to post this training. I'm going to label it social media mastery, training. That's how you'll see it. So make sure your team has the VIV Success Network YouTube channel. It's critical. That's where all the stuff is landing, So I'll post it there. Make it a great day, guys. Like I said, continue the text blitz until you have the amount of appointments that you want. And we're going to, if you repeat this every Saturday for the next 52 weeks, you will have a massive, massive network marketing business. So thanks again, guys. Make it a great day, and God bless.
Yeah, great week. Take care. Thanks. Good training, Lisa.
Couple meetings coming up.
Yeah. One last thing. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, so March 28th, Ken and Amanda Hayward are having one at the Hampton Inn on 319 Speen Street. I believe that's in Natick. I'm not 100% sure, but Speen Street's right there. And then Russ and Lisa Kennedy are having one April 12th at 277 Main Street at the Public House in Sturbridge. I definitely suggest if you got the time to go there or at least get people there. I'll say right here, I'm going to be at both of them just to make sure. And if anybody's got anybody they need, somebody for me to sit down and talk with, I'll be glad to help them out in any way I can. You know?
And yes, it is Natick, brother.
All right, cool. All right.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Hey, Maria, can you type your phone number in the chat so I can get back to that question?